If you want to improve your charisma, and again, for business applications, relationships, conflict communication, dealing with an altercation with the neighbor, hell, even talking to the cashier at Walgreens. If you want to get a noticeably improved level of charisma, this requires that you to understand and act upon the following concepts. Number one, what is the charismatic vision for your life that you want to create? This is why I ask why. What does it look like? What does it look like when you are out in a nightlife environment and you see somebody that you want to speak to? What does that look like? What does it feel like? What does it look like when you're trying to navigate some sort of office politics bullshit? What does it look like when you're having a tough conversation with a family member? What does it look like when you're at a party and your friend that you know there leaves and you have to mingle with strangers? What does that look like? What are the results that you want to get from that? Think about that for a couple seconds. I want you to really think about that, to quantify that. Secondly, and here's where we get into the weeds a bit, the sticky wicket, if you will. You need a clear-eyed understanding of the demands that are going to be put upon you by the types of results you want to have. What are the demands that are going to be put upon you? So again, from a practical standpoint, I get people who come on these boot camps and they're like, okay, yeah, ostensibly I want to have choice in my relationships. I want to feel like I have abundance, so I'm not settling for someone that I don't like. And I'm not stuck in this codependent trap of a relationship down the line because I don't feel that I would have the ability to find someone better if I were to break up with them. I was there. That's why I got involved in this stuff in the first place. A series of bad relationships. The same old sob story, we've all heard it. Many of you probably share the same story. So after that I resolved, I will get abundance. I will get abundance. So again, that's what gave me the emotional leverage to do whatever was necessary to crack this code, to learn how to go out and express myself in a free way, an uninhibited way that kept people's attention for me long enough to execute the horizontal plot development to get from A to B. So here's the thing. I think a lot of people, they have an idea of what it's going to take. I get these dudes on program. They come on and I'll be like, okay, so right before we go out, one of the very last things I say on the first day, so what do you typically introduce yourself with? And they'll be like, well, I just kind of say whatever comes to mind. Oh yeah, what does that look like? I usually say, what's up? And does this work? Well, I don't know. I probably won't, but I say, what's up? How's your night? What's up? How's your night? Oh, okay. I hate it. It sucks, but okay, let's see. Let's just see what happens, okay? And then they go out and they say that, and what do you think happens? Nothing, absolutely nothing. They get ignored, or they get like, yeah, I like your dress. I like your dress. Oh, do you like it? Do you like it? You're going to ask for the designer? You like the dress? Oh, thank you. In a perfect world, in a perfect universe, how does someone react? This is what I'm saying this to the guy. How does someone react when you go up and say, hey, what's up? In a perfect universe, what do they do? Let's say what's up to me.
What's up?
Oh, they start filleting you, violently filleting you on the dance floor. I don't know what universe that works in, but it ain't this one. Okay, that does not work. Okay, now perhaps let's say that they are able to capture someone's attention briefly. Let's say that they go in there and they make some situational comment. Oh, look at that, that's crazy, and the person kind of chuckles and starts speaking to them. What do they then proceed to do? Typically they'll default to this series of kind of like interview style questions where they're asking all of this mundane, banal information about their life. So what do you do? Where do you live? Do you like it? The weather's certainly humid this afternoon, isn't it? Oh, what about local sports team? Certainly doing well in the standings, aren't they? I like your dress. Right? And so what happens with this? Well, again, like 5-10 minutes of polite conversation followed by some excuse to leave. I got to go find my friend. I got to go dance. I got to go get a drink. I got to go shoot myself in the fucking face. It was nice to meet you. It was nice to meet you, right? And this will happen every time. Now, again, I'm preaching to the choir in here most likely. Everyone here is probably, yep, that's right. Correct. However, some of you are probably still doing it. So here's the thing. These guys, they know that will not work. They know it. Intellectually, they know it. Knowledge and knowing are two different things, right? It's one thing for them to think that probably won't work. It's quite another to go up and do it in like 4-dimensional meat space and see the look of disdain. Not even disinterest, of pure disinterest. To feel the emotions flooding the chemicals flooding their body as they are ignored, and this feeling of like, I just want to, the palpable feeling of the person wanting to extricate themselves from the situation as politely and as quickly as possible. They fucking know. And they need to feel that. You need to feel that in order to say, you know what, it really doesn't work. And that's where, the second point comes in. You need to understand what are the results you want to have. And number two, you need to come to terms with the demands that are going to be put upon you by the results you want to have. If you want to get gangster results, you got to do gangster shit. If you want to get gangster results, you got to do gangster shit. Point blank, period. So I think that it's easy to think, especially when you hear like us tell some of these weird stories and stuff, that it's, either it's some fabrication or it's an exaggeration, or it's stuff we used to do but I don't do anymore. And look, to be fair, I am 46 years old. I've had a lot of success. I kind of view it as sort of juvenile and amusing at this point. But again, I hang out with young people, particularly my newfound son that I didn't know existed. And he's very gung-ho about it being a 21-year-old, young, dumb, and full of various fluids. So he's really into it, and he kind of drags me back into it. But and again, we do this stuff on the regular. Now, why do I tell you this? Because one of my main goals or aims on our program is to inspire, is to tell people, you know what? No, this shit is real. This is not a fantasy. This is not some Hank Moody Californication, like incel wish fulfillment writing fiction, right? This is real. Normal people, well, we're not normal, but relatively normal people can do this. People just like me. I'm not like particularly like handsome. I'm like 5'7.5". I do have a slightly above average dick, but aside from that, I'm just a regular dude in almost every way. Maybe bigger vocabulary than a lot of people, but who gives a shit? Like, they're not like hooking up because of my florid language and my bon mots. Like, he's such the witticisms, the turns of phrase. So I'm a sapiosexual. It's a very popular thing on Tinder profiles now. But is it causing a physiological reaction? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. But the point being, normal people can do this stuff, and they see it when they see us doing these things before them. They realize it's not really that complicated. Because again, here, we can make this stuff complicated. We can make it extremely complicated, or we can keep it relatively simple. And my aim has always been to distill things down to like the base components, the most impactful things. I mean, again, when you've been teaching a program for 20 fucking years, as I have, you have tried every single permutation of how to present the curriculum, how much curriculum. Do you make it like a 7-hour seminar? Do you make it a 2-hour seminar? Do you make it no seminar and it's all action? I've experimented with every single possible iteration of how to present this stuff. And I believe that I've distilled it down at this point to the stuff that's going to be digestible, right? Are they going to be able to digest this and apply it that weekend? Right, or is it just going to be this mishmash of information swirling about in their brain that just flies out of the window the second that they hit the field? there's a saying, my buddy Mike Tyson, anyone here read his book? That's a really fascinating book. If you want to see a story of like a really it's quite inspiring actually. I mean, this guy, he was robbing grown men at age like 9 because he's just like this weird genetic freak. He's like beating the shit out of grown men at age like 13 and like robbing them. And then he became, the heavyweight champion at 21. And so it's almost as though a street urchin from a Charles Dickens novel was given $250 million. And it's some pretty crazy stories in there. I mean, probably no one's had a life like that guy. But yeah, there's this one story where he's walking around the club and he's like, at the strip club, I had a special room built for me so I could do cocaine. And he would like walk around the club with this like big bag of cocaine hanging from his neck, with a straw coming out of it, quote, like a milkshake. And he would just like snort the cocaine. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. But I don't even know why I brought that up. What was that related to?